If you just bought your HCGX4 Compensator, then this video will show you how to install, uninstall, and then also answer some frequently asked questions at the end. So we have our Taurus GX4 here, and so the first thing that we want to do whenever we go to install this compensator is first check that the gun's clear. It is, so now we can continue. So for this particular model, the recoil assembly here actually protrudes from the slide by a tiny bit, and that will actually interfere with the comp when we go to put it on. So first thing you want to do is get a screwdriver, turn that slide takedown lever right there to take the slide off of the frame, and you can set that aside. So the next thing you want to do is just make sure that you take out your recoil assembly so that the barrel is able to go forward in the slide to clear that edge so that you can thread your compensator onto your barrel. Next thing you guys want to make sure that you do is make sure that your barrel threads are nice and clean. If you just bought your barrel, if it's brand new, then you shouldn't have to do much. All that should be on here is just a little bit of oil, and you still want to make sure that you wipe that off, because if there's anything on these threads, it won't let the Loctite adhere properly. So once those are clean enough, you can set your slide and barrel down, grab your comp. You want to take these set screws in the sides all the way out using the provided Allen key. Then once those are out and ready, you can take your slide and barrel and your Loctite. And you want to kind of put a generous amount all around the threads on the barrel itself. Then what I like to do is just use your finger or a rag if you want to, and just kind of smush the Loctite all into the threads all the way around. Then once that is done, you can take your comp, start to thread it on. And you want to check periodically that your comp isn't hitting the slide whenever you put it back so that the barrel is fully locked in. So if I go, like for instance, one more turn here, it's going to get to where I'm trying to put the barrel back in and it's not letting the chamber fully lock into the slide cut here. So if that's the case, you just want to back the comp off at one rotation and then it should go perfectly. And you want to make sure that you have a slight gap in between the comp and slide so it has room to tilt for the action to work so that it doesn't have any interference problems. And once that's done, you can make sure that your comp recoil housing is lined up to the one on the bottom of the slide right here. Then once that's done, we can put on our set screws. And I still like to, with the set screws, just put a little dollop of Loctite on them just to help make sure that they don't back out at all. And once those are on, just insert it into the side here. And some Loctite's gonna smush out of the hole. Just use your paper towel or a rag or something and wipe that off. Then we can do that with the other one as well. Now I wouldn't tighten your set screws down all the way just quite yet. Sometimes when you put the set screws in, the comp likes to rotate, so I'd make sure again that it's lined up where you want it, exactly on the recoil housing on the slide, and then hold that together so it doesn't move with your offhand, then use your other hand to tighten these set screws down. Then once that is done, you can put your recoil assembly back in. Then to put it together on the GX4, all you do is rack the slide. And just like that, your new GX4 comp is installed. Now, even though your compensator is installed, you're gonna still wanna wait at least 24 hours before you shoot it to let the Loctite cure and to let everything get really rock solid to make sure it doesn't break loose. So here we have our Taurus GX4 carry with our compensator installed. So first things first, whenever we go to uninstall this, is we're gonna pick up the gun, check it's clear. And then for this particular compensator, the recoil assembly sticks a little bit out into the recoil housing of the comp. So for this one, we have to take the slide off, which you can use with a screwdriver or anything to get inside the slot here. Rotate this pin so it unlocks the slide. So then once you have your slide off, all you need to do now is take out your recoil assembly, then use your Allen key and loosen your set screws so that they no longer are tight on the barrel. And at this point, your comp is free to spin off. And depending on how much Loctite you guys use, it might come off easier or harder, but it should still come off relatively easily. And then now your comp is disassembled. Now this is a good time. We also recommend that while your comp is off, if you have any excess dry blue Loctite on these threads, that you take a paper towel and some soap or water and clean those back off. And then if you're gonna put your thread protector back on, you can do so, or whatever other thing you wanna put on, if you wanna put a can on here or whatever else, and it's ready to go for that. So that's it, that's how you uninstall your GX4 comp. So now we're going to dive into some of your frequently asked questions. One of them is holster compatibility. And so the answer to that is this should work on any GX4 holster as long as it has an open front. The reasoning being is that there has to be that space for this compensator to peek out through. If your holster has a closed front, odds are you're going to put your gun into your holster and it's not going to seat properly. It's going to be too far out. It's probably not going to have the right retention. It's probably going to fall out potentially. So just make sure that your holster has an open front. If it has a closed front, you could potentially modify it using a Dremel or something to cut the closed front away so that it has an open front for the compensator to go into. So the short answer is that any holster that has an open front that's fitted to work with the GX4 should work with your compensator. So another question we get is, will this work on blank model of the same gun? And the answer is yes, this will work with all models of the GX4. But just to clarify and to make sure, I know that Taurus has other models like the G2, GX2, G3, and those were not tested to work for this This compensator was designed specifically to work with the GX4. So it will work with other models of the Taurus GX4, but the other guns that are similar sounding from Taurus but don't say GX4, it has not been tested to work with those. So another question we get a lot is, do I need to clean the comp? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. We have a whole video actually dedicated to this if you want to go watch it, but the long and short of it is that if you don't clean your compensator, there's going to be a lot of carbon that will build up into the ports. And if you let that go long enough, it's going to cause obstructions to where the bullet could potentially hit this carbon buildup in the compensator and cause a failure or cause a number of issues. So the answer is yes, you absolutely do need to clean your compensator. If you guys have any other questions regarding this compensator or anything else, please feel free to reach out to support@herringtonarms.com. Be sure to like this video and we'll see you guys next time.